Let's see. Audio. That's helpful, right? Just make sure that works. Excellent. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Hackathon, and I decided I would do a little building myself. Let's go see if anybody needs any help in the community right now before we get building ourselves. Go visit the Hackathon community. I have bookmarked it because I'm lazy. So going to notifications was the easiest way. All right, let's see. Finding a team member 10 minutes ago. Where is that last comment? It says 17 hours ago. Why does it say 10 minutes ago? Well, I don't see anything. All right. Everything's looking okay there. Let's get into an instance. Start working. I should probably pull up the chat. Oh, it's up. Just leave that to the side. Clean up some windows here. All right, so I am in the Hackathon instance. Let's see what update set I'm working in today. I should be in the correct scope. Let's see which update sets we actually have in progress. Guru permissions. I thought I finished that. Oh, I did. This one, no good. Go away. So let's pick up a new update set. And this is going to be judging calculations. And we'll drop in a studio and see where we left off. Collapse. So many things. All right. That's roughly what I need. All right. Flow designer. Oh, let's see what. Let's respond to someone real quick. All right. So let's go take a look at the judging table. So if I go pull open one of these records, let's see if I can learn where I left off. Oh, I click the application. And I'll get you every time, having that first thing be a reference to another table. All right, so we've got the calculations there. Let's go take a look at the flow. Calculate. Oh, no, we're going to need inside our window. So let's launch it from here. So we get a separate tab instead of a whole new window rendered. I could probably zoom this in just a little. Oh, that's too much. Let's make sure we don't have follow. Good. This should be roughly okay. Sort by updated. Oh, well, this is actually pretty cool. I'll take a minute and take a look at this. Um, so installing plugins. So I built this on Thursday night to so we store all of the Hackathon instances here in this controller instance, and I generated a bunch of connection and credential aliases, and attached them to the developer instances, these Hackathon instances. So simple trigger here, when those records are updated and the credentials aren't empty, go fire off these activate plugin subflows. So if you're not familiar with these, this is Orlando feature that added the APIs to be able to move source control, publish to an app repo, deploy from an app repo, activate a plugin, are all APIs that are now available. And with those APIs, there are also scope actions. So they're flow designer actions available to do, invoke those APIs. And then there are some subflows that do a more complete job of what you need, which is go tell that other instance to install something. And then you need a way to check to see when it's done. So if we open up that subflow, you can, let me collapse the inputs. You can see it's leveraging that action, activate spoke, but then it is, checking the plugin status. And if it exists, it goes down this thing and lets you know. And if it doesn't, it's going to install the plugin, and it is going to execute this subflow, which is wait until tracker completes. And this subflow, takes a remote instance and an interval and the progress worker, and basically pulls it and says, "Hey, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" And keeps going until it is done. And then it'll assign the subflow outputs and then return me back to here, which in this case, I wanted to activate another plugin. So that's that. It worked. It was great. Let us take a look at the judging roll up though. I did it as a subflow, I believe. Subflow. Calculating judging from category. So given a category and an event. So this is typical of work that I've been doing in flows is I initially started with a flow and then I said, I'm going to want to do whatever I'm about to do repeatedly and invoke that from different trigger conditions. So all of the beef, all the meat of what I'm doing actually belongs in a subflow. So I'll switch over to that subflow. Let's get you as much of this as reasonable. Let's see how that's looking on the stream. Yeah, that's looking okay. Hey there. Just getting started. So what I'm working on is I've got a table over here, a judging table to take for a given application, and a judge collect their scores. And then that's fine, but then I need to aggregate the judges' scores. So I have created a subflow to do that. And honestly, if I were to do it again, I'm not sure I would use Flow Designer because it was a little difficult to do what I wanted to do in Flow Designer. I had to make a custom action and just script it. And it couldn't even be as generic as I wanted it to be. So I probably would have, um, if I was going to do it again, just made it a script include to do the calculation. And then I would have invoked it from wherever I'm running this. But I'm already here, I already built it. So that's what this average field values is I created this, which is a very, very simple script to do a glide aggregate on that judging table. And I will collapse what I can collapse. Let me make this window smaller. And like that. So I'll know to scroll down. So it is a glide aggregate that does these 5 aggregates and then um, returns them as the outputs from my action. So from the step, and then I had to stuff them into the outputs of the action. And yeah, so this was a little more annoying than I really wanted it to be. So I would have liked to have been able to just you know pass in those parameters to a script including and get the returned objects in an array and just leverage them. So maybe I wasn't doing something right, but I was a little harder than I wanted it to be to get Flow Designer to do this the way I wanted. So let's check to see if this is working. Um, so we've got some judging records. Um, we probably need, yeah, so we've got 3 judging. Nope. Let's make a different judge here. So we've got 3 judges, and we've got the app record. And let's go ahead and clear out the values of this app record. So what this is supposed to do is update. Do you allow a flow to continuously run? So continuously run, I don't know if what exactly you mean by that. Um, a flow will run until it's completed its execution. If you're talking, can I run a flow periodically and make that periodicity frequent? Absolutely. Um, so, in fact, that subflow that I was showing you a little bit earlier, which was wait until that tracker completes, is an example of a case in which I'm going to have a fairly um, lengthy runtime for this flow. So this is actively working, and in the case of plugins, this was working for like 15 minutes and continuously running and checking on an interval of, I think, every minute, every 30 seconds, something like that. So this repeating um, was pretty often. You can also schedule um, in your trigger conditions of a flow. Um, you can schedule them to run. Something. Uh, if it's super lightweight, you can run it more often. Um, so if you want to repeat and then make it every 5 seconds, if it's small enough, you can do that. So it's very similar into like scheduled jobs in that sense. So back to what we were doing here. Good question though, Brent. I should make that bigger. It's a little hard to see. Um, oh yeah, we were testing it. So did I save the app record? Hope I did. Yes, I saved the app record. I'm gonna do it again just because that's how I feel like it. And let's test against that app record. So this is the category in event. I'm just gonna repick them though. Run test. And our expectation is that we get these averages onto our app. Sweet. Well, that's working. Nice. So we need to update this total score now. Let's do that. So this is a calculated field, and it was only calculating on 3 of the inputs. So we need to add the other 2 to this one. So let's add in the other 2. And I am a lazy developer, so I'm going to copy and paste. And then I'm going to open up the application table to get the field names. Definitely strings. And let's see, we've got creativity, power, ease. So that means we need compliance. And what was the other one that we don't have? Creativity. Did we have ease? Yeah, we got ease. Polish. All right, and let's go ahead and add those up here as well. So grab that. And we'll grab this one. Why are you angry at me? Okay. All right. Let us update that. Oh, sorry, Brad. Let's see where that is. All right, let's see if that worked, right?
Hello.
Oh, it's Brad, and he is speaking out of a weird speaker.
Do I sound all right?
Oh, you sound fine, Brad. You're just in a weird speaker for me. Hold on. Oh, that's why. How do I get you every time using the wrong set? Good morning, Brad.
Morning.
So I'm messing with the the judging calculations.
Oh, nice. This is through Flow Designer, right?
It is through Flow Designer. Right now, I'm adjusting um, the actual. So I just tested my flow, and I needed to adjust the calculated field on the app table to incorporate the two new fields.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, so that seems to work. So now I need to make sure I love the bird sounds. So I'm gonna.
I know.
It's a little chilly here still in North Carolina. Maybe in another 30 minutes I can go outside and hang out with my grill. Uh, I went down there and it was just too chilly for that right
Mm,
now for me. So I was like, no, nope, I'm just gonna start the cooking, but a little I would have had to put on pants or something, and
oh,
that's just not reasonable.
yeah. I think I have about 20 minutes in this location before my shade runs out, and then it's going to get too hot here.
Yeah, you're a little bit
Opposite
warm.
problem.
You're a little bit warmer, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just breached 60 here now, so
Mm. I think we're supposed to get up near 90, so we'll see what
yeah.
happens.
We're gonna get into the 70s today, I think. So
All right.
I was so I've got this flow to update the records. What I want to do is make sure that I scoped this is the execution. I want to make sure I scoped the query good enough. So given the event and theme, oh yeah, that is not scoped well enough. I need to also take in the round.
Mm. So we're doing this twice, right? An initial
Right.
pass and then our official judging.
So uh, why? No, I'm not. I'm not modifying those. I swear. Please don't break it.
Does it like every time you add an input, does it redo everything? Is that what's happening?
It doesn't have seemed to.
All right.
It just said scarily that it would, but didn't seem to. So let's get our existing choice list off the judging table and round. And we need that to be mandatory, and we want the prelim. Yeah. Cool. All right. So now down here, that's done. Let's hit save. And now we need to leverage that input. Yeah, I was saying a few minutes ago that if I were to do it over again, I would have just made a script include for the aggregation.
Mm, yeah.
Um, because it was more painful than was reasonable to me. What am I doing? Why don't I have round? Oh, this is for
Application.
oh, this is per application. It doesn't belong there. It belongs in oh, I'm just gonna have to put this into I need to pass this into I was already doing that. Okay. I just need to give it a data pill. So the action I made already accounted for that there was rounding. I just didn't give it a round. Yep, that's reasonable. Passed me actually did me a solid. The application record. No, this is coming from the inputs round. Done. So let's make sure I took it as an input and let's make sure I actually leveraged it. Because, I might not have. Oh, I passed it into the input variables, so that's promising. And I appear to be consuming it. Oh, man. Past me was not wild about writing this, but I seem to have done an okay job with that part. All right, yeah. You see this nonsense?
Yeah.
Like the inputs up here, then setting variables to those inputs, then setting on my outputs, and then setting on my outputs, and then setting on my outputs. I I know that there's some better ways that I could do this, but it's still painful. So I could have just put this in a complex object inside my script. Um, but I was struggling with how to make that generic enough to make me happy and failing.
Yep.
so so I didn't because the struggle bus was real for that part. Um, but yeah, so I would totally just build this as a script include and just call the script include next time because this
It's a lot of lines to be in a script step.
it is, and it was just painful to like you consume this in this way. Like it would have been easier to just uh, you know get an array back of the things I wanted, or even have done them individually. Like get me this fields one, get me this fields one, get me
Mm.
this fields one as I needed it. Um, yeah, it was not it didn't make me wild of happy. All right, so now I save that and let's test. So we need to add a couple of rounds of data so that we can tell. Um, so let us do a Chris test app, and we'll choose a judge. There are so many records in this. And we will say that second round.
That's me.
And we'll put some scores in here. Good morning, Mark Scott. Nice to see you, sir. Doing a little developing over here. All right. So now our assumption is that we've updated that on this Chris test app. Um, we've got a score of 16 and we expect to get back to a score of 16. I'm just going to set a couple of these back to that. So now in our flow, let's give it a test. Prelim sounds good. Run test. Jace can watch and work. I know he can. Let's see our execution. All right, we got some results, and if we go to our record, Hopefully we got 16. Still 16. Yay. Now let's test that the other round works, and then I think I'll be pretty happy with that. Let's test second round.
Mark says it sounds peaceful here. It's only peaceful because I put the dogs up and my kids are all out of the house right
Distracted.
now.
They're all distracted. You distracted all the things. That's why, right?
Yeah. At some point, it's going to crash down on me and
That's okay.
we'll have
So
screaming and barking.
it looks like we have updated our record appropriately. Yay. That seems to be doing the business. Well, that's good. So now the calculations from the judges are working the way I want them to. The next thing is, I think, how do we want to signal that the apps that are ready to move forward?
So that means
let
that
me slide
someone
this
has
over.
run the calculation.
Let me collapse this out of studio. I was more thinking of how do I signal the next round of judges which things are for them,
Yes.
because they'll want to know.
What does that place field look like?
I was eyeballing that one myself. Oh, I'm not talking to you on Twitch. I have Twitch in a whole separate computer. I'm sorry, Lisa. Let me pull up the Twitch chat as well, because you won't be the only person to have gone to Twitch. Let me do that real quick. I should have pulled up Restream, gotten both chats, but I didn't because I'm bad. This is casual Saturday, by the way, people. So
That's right.
it's not the polished show. I just called our show polished. That made me laugh. If I think everyone here's seen the show before, but if you hadn't, our show is not polished. It's intentionally not polished, though. Like, it's supposed to not be polished because it's not scripted or anything. There, I'm in the chat. I'm glad you like it, Mark. Yeah, so I was eyeballing this place field myself. I think we just inject. Maybe I take a pass on the app records after I populate their values, and I'm not sure how automated I want to make that, though.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
So I think we'll just set the value for the ones that we want to move
Yeah,
forward.
I think that makes sense.
So we'll just load it up in the list view, sort them by, narrow down to a category, sort it by the total score, and then see where the reasonable breakpoint is, and then move that forward. That seems reasonable, because we're to do it in an automated fashion would I could take a pass at it and just
Well, yeah, I
grab
think we'll want to.
grab the top 10, and then we can then adjust it after.
Yeah.
I don't know how much value that's adding, but I'm
I mean,
already in here. I'm already doing nonsense things.
there's not that many, but yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it. That would be cool. So I think this is ready. Like, I think the I think the subflow is ready. And I don't think I'm going to even put it in a flow. Like, I'm going to run it manually when a category is done. So I'll just come hit the test button. I think this is shippable. Let's ship it.
All right.
Publish it. Ah, 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 ah. And then we need to go to our main ServiceNow window and check out our update set and make sure the right stuff's in there. Which that's what I expect to be in there. Is the subflow I just published in the dictionary that I adjusted. I think I'm ready. So this does the judging calculations for in a subflow must be run manually. Adjusted the calculated field on application to include 2 new categories. You have to spell categories right, though. There we go. That's done. Complete it. Peer review it. Bam. That's ready. So that's that. So the next thing I wanted to do was I was doing some posting on for social media purposes our blog, and it reminded me that we have an artifact in our HTML.
Hugo shortcode
Yeah, a Hugo
that always shows
shortcode.
up.
And I think the reason that's in there is for caching purposes. I think what we're doing is, I seem to recall that that's what I wasn't there for the building of that, but I was told that that was a thing that they added was um, a hash so that it could check to see if the page needed to be re-rendered or not. So for browser caching purposes, essentially. But let's take a look. Let us. I'm going to try and stay in one window here. Let's just look at the source and see why it's doing this weird. There should be some Hugo right at the top somewhere weird. Yeah. That's all in the header. Where's the actual? No. Actually, in this,
Oh, yeah.
this is what I need is a entries. Yeah,
There it
right
is.
here.
Yeah.
Right here at the starting
In that Twitter description meta tag.
And why is that in the Twitter description meta tag? Really? No, thank you. I don't want that at all. You go. Is this who did this? What troll did this? And why is it here? So it doesn't look to be particular to any of those meta tags. It looks like it's something that it's getting passed generically up, because it's here in all 3 of these meta tags up at the top. Oh, I know who it is, Jace. just not calling them out directly. Let us see. So I need to fire up. Well, I need to share VS Code. Let me switch screens, I guess. Trying to keep the screens smaller today. Stop share. Whoa, that's a lot of Brad Beard.
Funny.
And share. There we go. All right. I should have just switched to OBS on this local machine. So I actually need to open up the template, not the content. Do I not have the template open? No.
Yeah, you're in.
Apparently, I
content.
don't. Let us open that.
The template is inside. You can do it from inside the SNDev blog. You go. Let me look where it is.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in the.
Oh yeah, I think you need to be up one level.
I need to. Can I even do that? Here, I'll just go over here and say open. And I need to go not in Blog Hugo, but in the step down from Blog Hugo. I need I have way too many things in my GitHub.
Yeah, you can open SNDev blog Hugo, I think.
Really?
It's in.
No, I thought that's where I was.
Themes. No, I think you were in the content inside of that because it's in themes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I have no idea how most of this stuff works. So this is gonna be fun.
I did a deep dive into this a few weeks ago, but I'm sure a few weeks ago Brad did not take any notes.
Nice. So let us see. What are we doing? Main. I cannot read this. There we go. That's better. Like where, you know what I'm going to search for is, why don't I just search for ha ha ha. And I want to search that in all files. There's the search here. Ha ha ha. No, seriously? I hate you. Really? Why not? So if it's not, let's look for, instead of that, we'll look for what it is, which is a, how would you have named this?
It is a meta
it's a hash,
tag.
but it's a, let's see if hash is in here.
Is there a tag somewhere?
Look for the short code. Yeah, Jace, why don't you hop in here? You know, come hop in here for a second and you know, Hugo us up. I know you have been dealing with this more. I know you're doing your own hackathon, but you know, come help a brother out. All right, let's just go take a look at. Mark says layouts, shortcuts.
I've been all in the
okay.
layouts. Short codes.
Yeah.
Blog work.
Yes, Jace. Like legit. Come on in, buddy. All right. You think it's in nope. It's probably fancy box, right? Or no, it's gotta be fancy shortcodes. Path, caption, gallery. Well, the image one's not useful. Oh, yeah. I probably have to let Jace in. Seems reasonable.
So I found something.
Hello.
And
you're Googling? Ah, such a cheater. I love it.
who?
Did you find it?
No. Brad said he found something.
Well, I didn't Google. I've just been looking through. If you go in under layouts, partials, header.html, you can see where it is adding meta tags.
I don't have
Partials.
It might be under themes. Do you guys have a
I don't.
theme as well?
We do.
We are. I think we're
So
in
a
themes
theme.
here.
Yeah,
theme,
I wasn't under theme. That's why, Brad. I was
Yeah.
in the wrong.
So
I was in the wrong bucket.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
go layouts, partials.
Oh yeah, this looks more right.
Right.
And then header.
So it could be a what's it called? A shortcode inside the theme too. But you'll want to remove it from your partial, I'm guessing. You know what you could do? You could look for Twitter, since you know it's writing right by the Twitter tag.
Here's the Twitter card part.
There you go. Internal Twitter. Oh, maybe that might. Yeah, take a look for that. That's gonna be.
It's the only Twitter there. Let's generically look for Twitter. Oh yeah, there's quite a few. Let's narrow it down to ones that would make sense. I think that's where we're at now. Those share links, readme, social, main. So we're here. Bunch of index ones, which are not useful.
Oh, I think Brad popped off.
Oh, I'm still here. I just stopped my video for a second.
Oh. Well, that template that should be inside of that. Where is that template pulled from generally? I think it pulls from partials or somewhere. Layouts maybe. It's like a. Let me look at my site. I can tell you. Maybe I can tell you. Keep looking. I don't have an answer.
And there was also. So that's the Twitter card down there.
So you could look for Twitter_cards. And you should find the file name.
Yeah. Oh, 2 hits. Well, that's handy. Render that and render that.
That doesn't help.
That's not helpful. So these internal templates can be found at.
This is a rabbit hole. Where'd you guys get this theme?
I have no idea.
It's a I think it's just a standard Hugo theme from some. We're pretty much using it without any other styling added.
Open graph is a tag type. All right. I see open graph there. Yeah, and that is
So when you tell Hugo to do
SEO open graph. So that was under partial or themes, layout, SEO, open graph. Back to the file explorer. What about it, Mark? Why aren't you on here helping?
I agree. Mark should be on here helping. If he's got time to throw peanuts in the peanut gallery, he's got time to talk.
He's got time to talk.
So yeah, this is not very helpful. Pagination. Yeah, this is weird. I haven't seen that before where it hides it. Normally when you call a file like that,
He says
templates,
we're here apparently.
We'll do a Control F for Twitter in the file, right?
No, Twitter's not in this file, but maybe the tag is in here that is generating the Hugo. Ha ha ha. Let's read what this stuff is. Title, description.
What was it that it was? So is it literally just a Twitter description tag or whatever it is? Or it's inside the Twitter?
Yeah,
there were a few meta tags where it had it in the content of the meta tag. Twitter was one of them.
Here, it roughly looks like that.
Okay.
And then it's got the rest of the description.
Right.
Like, from the content itself.
Yeah.
So maybe it's doing one of these tags and then the content after, or I don't know what it's doing. Those are the meta tags. Okay. That's helpful, Mark, maybe to you, but I don't know enough to understand what you're saying, man.
Yeah, pop on in here, Mark. You teach us. You tell us what's up. Yeah, that's weird. It's not in the header HTML, is it? Just out of curiosity.
It is in the. Are you asking in the page itself?
In the partials, like 8 files below where you are.
Yeah, the Twitter part's not there. There is a meta online.
There's the call to the thing we were just
31.
on there.
Right. There's a partial.
Getting the Twitter card.
Yeah. Where would that Twitter card be if it's not there?
So I don't know how to get to this.
So normally when I do these things, I do partial and look up that stuff. But it should be in that same it should be like in that same structure. Like there's nothing in partials for internal. There's no internal subfolder.
No.
Like I'd expect that template looks the same places that partial does. You see how partial does SEO open graph?
Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't show there.
Maybe I have to go to this template is actually, so this theme is actually linked to a different repo.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure how they interact.
They're probably submodules. My theme is like that too.
So yeah, our theme is
all
a
of this
submodule.
stuff is a submodule. coming from another repo, and maybe there's stuff in there that's not like listed here. I don't know.
Well, what you could do, if you wanted to say this heck with it, you could make a partials header HTML in your local folder, and that supersedes the current header HTML. And then you could just nix the Twitter cards or rewrite the Twitter cards.
Well, it's not just the Twitter card. It's the.
Oh, there's Mark with fire. Everything's fine.
Hey, Mark, everything's fine.
This is my knowledge is coming background.
But it's here.
Yeah, I know. My team was working on some stuff last night. They didn't find the humor in my background. So, I swear it's in one of these partials, but I don't remember exactly which one it is. But given that you have that template, that Twitter cards template, and that open graph has got to be it. Somewhere in there, there's another reference to something somewhere else, and that's what I keep looking through your page trying to figure out if there's something in there, because open graph is that OG tag, so that the OG tag is what is setting that metadata in like Facebook and things like that. So we're there, we're just not quite there.
So maybe you should look for a range since it's doing Twitter and other things, right?
Well, so the OG is, so there's a whole, so Twitter, so just looking at the source of the page, and I know I can't easily toggle them the way I'm set up right now, is we've got the Twitter card, and then the OG, and then the item prop. And all three of those have the same, like they're all set up roughly the same way.
And that's what's kind of got me just a little bit concerned, because it looks like there might be multiple places that we're going to have to make this change, because right now you've got those OG tags, which is good, right?
So in this, so OG description is where so somewhere, here is where it's getting the stuff, right? Because that's what is outputted at the end is.
Oh, so in OG description, after that, it's putting it.
Right.
So in OG description is content and has the shortcode in it.
Oh, geez.
Can we go to the very, I mean, this is your open graph.html, but do you have an actual, like the actual full layout, which I think is in default, and then we can start drilling down from there?
Sure.
You're done with this local layout or default?
No. Just the default layout where that's not what I was thinking of. Basically, I want to see the full on like open HTML tag, close HTML tag, and then we can kind of go a base. I think it might have been base of. Scroll up to the top there, Andrew.
These.
Yeah. So let's start from the top and work our way down, right? So this starts moving you through the page, and then those are the templates that start pulling everything out. Internal templates can be found, but I feel like it's even above that, isn't it? No, because that's the head tag still.
Yeah, like all of this stuff is the like above.
It's above your meta tags.
If we just start commenting things out, well, that break something?
Well, not really.
Break something.
You can comment it out and build locally,
Yeah,
and see what happens.
I mean, you're messing with metadata, right? So the risk is pretty small.
Yeah.
The fire has consumed me.
Google Analytics.
Oh no.
That guy's repo doesn't even exist there anymore.
Nice.
I'm looking for that SPF 13. He doesn't have a Hugo repo anymore. He's got the SPF13.com, but I doubt that's.
I wonder what's in that site header, Andrew.
Which site header?
You've got header highlighted with your cursor. Down at the bottom, line 44.
Oh, yes.
I wonder what's in that one.
I think that's one of the ones we had open, right?
Was it?
That was, I don't see it under partials. Maybe it's under
Might
the
just be
themes partial.
Yeah.
No, the generics partial. This one. No,
Nope.
it's not there. Well, where is it?
See, this is why I was better suited for the peanut gallery.
Me too. So, hold on. That internal business, I'm reading, so I'm looking here. Let me share this.
This is the only reference to site header.
Weird.
Hold
in
on.
This
This
whole
is,
folder.
I'm going to share this. I'll put it on YouTube, I guess. Doesn't really matter. I'm not on YouTube anymore because I don't have both things up. But there is an issue on one of the guys' repos where I'm like, well, what else is the things you're calling internal? And it reads like it's part of the Hugo Go templating, like base template, like part of the Hugo binary.
Okay.
And if that's the case, we're not gonna be able to change it simply. We'll have to like stop using theirs and rewrite it.
Wow. I'm not doing that.
I think.
Yeah, that's not a Saturday morning activity.
Well, I mean, that's what the issue reads.
I got this working on my site without a problem.
It's the template that they use. It's the theme. The theme has this specific thing. So where is my... Here, I'll put this in chat. You take a look at this, Mark, and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's unrelated. I think it's right on the nose though.
So because I'm a good stream host, I'll repost it into YouTube for you.
Yeah, I would, but I think I closed YouTube.
Oh, I can put it in YouTube.
I got it.
Oh, nope. I didn't have it copied. I'm reading it. I just didn't post it.
But trying to find where it has this internal templates. Hey, this sounds probably how it is, whatever. Twitter cards. All right. I'm cooking with fire now.
Sweet.
And here it is. There.
Where'd you put that?
I put it in both places.
I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Here you go. Here's a third place. Sorry.
Oh, you put it in Zoom chat. All right.
Well, Zoom, YouTube, and now Slack. Whatever.
YouTube's clearly not updating for me because I don't see it there.
And internal template for Twitter cards, metadata attach rich content. But how does it work? It doesn't really say what it does.
Internal Twitter card.
It says it's based on your front matter variables, but it doesn't say how it builds it. But if that's true, then all things with these Twitter cards would have that Hugo.
Yeah, no, I think this is something that we're injecting into our description because it's getting propagated not just in the Twitter card, but into it's in 3 places. So it's like paired with the description. Like it's just at the start of description.
Yeah, someone's just forcing it in there.
Yeah. So one of these things in the build process is forcing the description to have that. So where are we building description? I'm not going to type description because it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, just type description, but that's okay.
It's going to be everywhere, but let's see if it can jump out where I can ignore all the index stuff. I just need to be inside of.
That's my one complaint with Hugo, is that since you're carrying all the content with you, when you do a search, you are searching the content as well.
What about that config toml right there? 5 down. Starts description equals ha.
Sets the
H.
meta tag.
Nope. Okay, that's not it.
Yeah.
I was excited. I was hoping it was just ha ha ha. But whatever. That's in their example site.
Yeah.
That's not in your guys' site. That's not in your config toml.
Goes for, yeah, not any of those. That's grabbing the description. That is not it. That's RSS. No.
Yeah, I didn't realize those templates were internal to the language.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So this is the header HTML.
Partial.
Site params.
Yeah, so that would be interesting.
Generate title.
Pretty sure that curly dot is like this. It's like whatever invoked this thing, right?
Right, which is that site params description, but that's obviously not what we're using since it's setting the, or no, well, it could be because the title is being set differently.
Well,
I'm going back to the tags.
where else would it be? Well, maybe what's calling that header? Maybe whatever is being passed into the header is being modified before it's sent there. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so if you do a search for partial whatever header, after you're done looking through this list, of course. Partial space quote header, I think. There's only a bunch of things. It's not that many.
Only 14 files. And it's definitely not some of these.
So. Is it on every page, that Twitter card? That, or sorry, not the Twitter card, but that tag, that short code?
Should be.
It's only on the post though, right? It's not on
it's on the posts themselves.
So it'll be in single then, like the individual posts or like the list of posts?
Individual posts, not the list of posts.
It'll be one of the singles then, because the singles are what dictates how it writes. So, and this is passing in just the partial with the current.
Right, but there could be logic in the header that basically says if I am a single, then show this. If I'm not, then don't.
No, but we looked at the header. The header doesn't do anything funky with it, right? The header is not doing a modification to the thing. I'm just seeing if maybe there's some other thing in here.
Can we try another search hack? Because I'm looking at this one, the meta tag is set with a item prop, but not everything has item prop.
Okay, sure. So, what search would you like me to do?
Do ITEMPROP. And that didn't do anything.
Yeah, I searched that like
forever
one of the first things I did.
Sorry, I wasn't.
That's
paying
fine.
At that point
no,
then.
it's just I was like, I don't even know where that's coming from. because I searched for it. I was like, maybe it's weird characters, and I copied and pasted it from the source, and it's not. And
So-
something is generating those codes because they're different for every blog post.
Yeah.
Like, those aren't the same on the, like, those are generated, right, Brad?
I don't think mine has Twitter cards, but
What's generated?
The
short code with the random
short
string
code.
afterwards.
They're
Yeah, I
different
mean, it's on every
different posts, right?
Are they? Maybe. I mean, we can find that
How
out.
does your guys' build work? Do you guys run build locally and then just publish the full
We
thing
we
up?
test it locally, but we build in Circle CI actually.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Could it be a Circle CI function to inject those headers?
Wait a
No.
second. The second post on our site doesn't have it.
Know before you go.
I
Yeah.
just clicked that one.
I know, me too.
Nor does the third post. It's only the one rendered on the main page.
Oh. Well,
That does not feel helpful.
Yeah,
no,
now
that is helpful. That tells us
That's helpful,
it's-
so that
that tells
there's
us
something for this one. Go ahead, Chase.
yeah, there's something on exactly what you were saying. There's something on that first page. It's
Yeah.
only going to be there. It's going to be like the single homepage or whatever it is.
And they had them before, like when the other ones were the first one. They had those. They
Does
don't.
it? If we were to write a new blog locally and then run it and render it, would we have the Hugo shortcode in it?
Well, that is a testable event.
Dev is the same as prod. It should always do that, right?
Let's see if where am I? I need to go. Yeah. And let us get a local render. And check out I'll share my screen if it's useful in a second. It is not local.
Aha.
Does
That's disgusting.
I feel dirty.
Why is it not
So is
done local?
Is it Circle CI that's doing it?
Well, it just means that there's a deviation between my local build process and Circle CI's build process.
there shouldn't be though, as long as you're in the same version of Hugo.
Yeah, but Circle CI can inject HTML and do all sorts of funky stuff, Jace.
Oh, I don't know anything about Circle CI. That's something.
Well, I mean, it should be running the same process and as I am. Like, that's the whole purpose, is that it should be running it exactly the same. Let us go to Circle CI and check it out. So I will stop the VS Code and start the share of this other window. But that is promising that it's only the first one, though, right?
Right.
Or horrifying, however you want to look at it.
Why can I not get to Circle CI from
Where is?
I must not have an account on that one. That's why.
Aston Lane, what's the target to reach out this time? Dirk, we are trying to solve this hidden bug, not bug, this Hugo shortcode business that's in the that's in the ServiceNow developer blog.
But only on the first articles.
Only on one article at a time.
And
on one
only
audio-
happens when it's built remotely or publicly or whatever. Oh, you're muted, I think.
I am?
Oh, no, not anymore. It looked like you were saying something, but then.
No, I was just had my mouth open.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. So over here in Circle CI, I can pull open this job and let's go take a look at it and see.
This is deep under the covers. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is we've got this. I'm actually more familiar with this stuff than I am with Hugo. Like, I just write the blogs and then hit build. Like, I haven't messed with Hugo really at all. That was all Josh and Dave. So here's where it should be the same, because what this is doing is it is it's pulling down our the main repo and then the sub module here to get our theme. So it should be exactly as it is locally, because I mean, we're pulling them from the same place. Like, it's a GitHub repo.
Right.
So that part should be identical. And then this installation for Hugo, shouldn't be any.
I know it
much
shouldn't
different.
make a difference,
Yeah,
but
go
is your Hugo version on your computer 54?
ahead. Let's check.
I think you just type in, if you have it in path, Hugo
just
space
need a new-
-- version.
Hugo doesn't want to tell me its version,
Let me just make sure I'm not
because it's not -- it's just version. I'm 56.3.
It shouldn't. I wouldn't think that would make a difference, but that
No.
is a difference between the
It
build
is a
and your-
difference, and that, when we got two things that are operating differently that should be the same, then that's what you look for.
Yeah.
So we are installing a bunch of dependencies for Hugo here, which I do the same here. And then this local run is the same as the local run I've got supposed to be, but maybe it's different, and maybe it's only injected here. Maybe there's a config or something set. I can't imagine why it would be different, though. The build process here is, should be.
Is their build call the same call you did to build it?
It is.
I know. For instance, on my my build, it's slightly different in Netlify than it is when I build locally.
Well, maybe it's not. Let's take a look. So it's using this build sh, and I do a serve, which then runs a build. So let me verify locally what my serve is executing as its build. Line
339 aliases. That's a lot of aliases. It's not that many.
So I need to, in order to test this. Oh, actually, all I need to do is take a look at portal dev blog. This is actually run exactly the same. And so let's see if this has the did I load? Yeah, I did.
Okay. I was confused for a second. I had YouTube on one screen and then the call on the other screen. So I'm seeing two screens and there's a time difference. And you clicked on the link and it showed the source in the other page, like at the exact same time.
So there is something in the config for the production branch that's different than the dev branch.
So let's look at that production config toml. You might want to look at that off screen before you pull it on screen.
Because this is the dev branch, which is the same branch as I'm using locally.
Yeah.
And neither the CI/CD or the Circle CI build for Dev Branch is doing it. So it should just be that that environment difference. So let me pull open that TOML.
Watch, it's just a variable in the TOML file. But it would have came up with a shortcode, unless they're doing something stupid like H plus A plus H plus A.
Could have been something weird.
But
GitHub.
still,
Or it's generated from a function or something.
yeah.
Didn't look like it was in any of my local TOML files.
You guys do have that config production TOML file though, right?
We do.
Okay.
This is
Sorry,
one of those things.
Yeah, the screen looks frozen, but I'm just working off to the
screen.
side here.
Hmm.
Brad, where did you find the production version?
It should be in, I think it's in the root of,
Because it
the
should just be in
SN
the
Dev blog
root of
Hugo.
SN blog Hugo, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I am looking at the right one then. Okay, there it is. Did you find anything in there? Because
No, I looked through it. I didn't even, because there should be a description param somewhere, it looks like, but I didn't see one in there. And I
Maybe
don't
do
know
a
if it's in
diff
anything.
between your local file and see if there's
that's a good idea.
maybe something will stand out.
Let's look at the base. I'm looking at the base one first. See if it's got any logic.
This is one of those defects where like you tell your project manager, oh yeah, it'll only take me like 15 minutes to fix this.
Yeah.
I could just run I could run something to go cut it out after it builds. Because I'm a terrible person.
I mean, if it works.
Compare that to this one. All that makes sense to be different.
Just write an onload JavaScript function that changes it.
Well, that won't help with the indexing, right? When Google comes by and reads it, I suppose.
But when
they
you
run
look at the
JavaScript.
source, it's right.
Main features. That's fine.
I think we're all just seeing it. I think it's not really there.
Yeah, I don't see anything that makes sense.
So that
in the
submodule,
difference-
is that pointing to a different repository?
It is.
Like not your guys' repository?
No, it's ours. It's a well,
Okay.
it's a fork of
A fork of somebody else's?
yeah.
Oh, well.
But it's
it could-
ours.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in this config that and the differences between them that make any possibility of being the root.
Have we tried pinging Dave yet?
I mean, I didn't, but that's when I stop and like, it's got a cap of 7 more minutes.
This is something different. I don't know where this is going to be if it's not where we've looked already.
Yeah, I'm at the end of my rope.
But
if Hugo environment equals dev, then do this, else do this. And they're the same thing. Why are you even here, Logic? Thanks, buddy.
Saturday morning, chop it out. That's the best time to do it.
Until you break it, right?
That was the irony, Jace.
And one more compare, and then I'm done with compares.
I'm trying to think what else it might be, but is your submodule up to date on your local machine?
It is. I keep it synced all the time. So
Okay, I'm just making sure.
it's a good question.
Because like I know that stuff can fall out of sync. Git submodule is like a weird, bizarre child thing. I don't like it. Not a fan. But for the Hugo stuff, it works out pretty good.
I've got this FA-check-circle
No, that's
difference
a
for
fun,
production,
awesome file.
but that doesn't seem to be. That's like the main difference between the dev build and the production build.
I just depressed myself by realizing that that's taking up space in my brain.
Nice.
What, the fun awesome? Don't
Yeah,
be
all you
sad
have to
about
say FA-circle-check or whatever it was, and I'm like, oh, that's a fun awesome file.
All right. Well,
wasn't there jet fighters named like the FA-18 and such?
Sounds right.
Well, I failed in that.
If you failed, we all failed.
Accomplishment, then we did not succeed in nuking the Hugo.
It's still trolling you and us.
I put money on it that you get a case in the next 24 hours that someone submits that says ha 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 in all the meta descriptions.
So let's return. So thank you, Mark and Jace. I'll let y'all get back to your hacking. We're gonna get back to doing some more hacking over here.
All right, I'll pop off. Have a good one, guys.
Tell us what you're building.
Oh, well, we're working on an app that's gonna help in the healthcare category.
She wanted to tell me
healthcare industry to assist some resuscitation stuff. I'm excited to show you guys what we have. I don't really want to get into all the details because I don't know if I can express it well, but
Are you working with Upside Down Andrew?
Yep. Oh. Upside Down Andrew and Jared.
He did an update
at 8 a.m.
Like a long time ago. Maybe like 7 hours ago. He did like an hour YouTube video about what y'all are building. And I dropped in on his team before I fell asleep last night and saw what they were building live then. It looked neat. It's a lot of service portal stuff.
It did a lot of service portal stuff.
And if our dive into the Hugo didn't capture it well enough, like front end web rendering stuff is just not my bag. Never wanted it to be. It's never gonna be. Like I'm gonna be pretty good at component building eventually, but it's not gonna be a thing I want to do.
Front end gets all the credit.
It does, but I don't care.
It's true.
It's so pretty.
It's pretty. And if you don't do a good front end, it doesn't matter how good your back end is. So, I've had to pair with good front end people over time because, they're like, hey, can you make it do these jump through hoops? And I'm like, no problem. I will give you whatever data and functions you need to drive your pretty buttons and interactions. But I don't want to design nor build your pretty user interface, even though that's the most important bit. Like if you don't do a good interface, like
I would say they're probably equally important.
Yeah, you can have a amazing back end, and if your front end sucks, you're never going to get adoption. Like,
right, but if you have an amazing front end and your back end doesn't work, it's not going to get used either.
You could still get a lot of adoption.
All right.
Angry adoption, but it'll be adoption.
Only at the very beginning. But yeah.
It depends on what you call very beginning. if you time box it, long enough, yeah, sure. That could be a true statement. But
That's fair.
it could be the whole lifespan of a company that is a reasonably good company. Could be the start of it. It's just on.
Sounds like there's a story in this somewhere, but
There. I mean, I'm old. There's a lot of stories there. Well, that's cool, Jace. And Mark, you're going to be doing some judging.
Yep. So I've got the social good category. So there's no conflict of interest with Jake there, or Jace. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's going to be one of those. I'm excited for it. Like especially with the social good. Like I've seen some really cool stuff come out of that in prior hackathons. So it's
yeah.
neat.
Earlier on the stream, I finished the automation for the tallying of the judges' scores.
Yeah, I was watching that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you were here for that. So that's pretty well wrapped up now. So now I have to work on something else. Brad, what's next to work on? Thanks, gentlemen. Y'all are the best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
What do you want to work on now? Were we gonna drop into the machine some, or do you want to do something lighter than the machine for a minute?
I don't know. I've been having some processor.
Oh, I gotta go check on my food.
Issues.
You've been having some what issues?
Processor issues. I keep freezing on my MacBook. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no, that's not good.
I have to put the Zoom on my iPad or something. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do? I've got to also do some cooking stuff. I got to get my pork belly burn ends ready.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I need to go check in on so we're both cooking meats today. We were both going to smoke meats, but I decided to just put mine in the grill and slow cook it. Like it's fine. Like it'll be fine. Like a pork shoulder, it doesn't have to be smoked. Like they turn out okay. Yeah, you're getting tearing in your video and stuff. Your poor little Mac is not happy with you.
I don't know why. The only thing happening is the Zoom. My processor's at like 800%.
Make the Zoom window smaller.
Yeah, I've got it pretty small, but yeah, I'll see what happens.
I know when I'm doing like the full screen, it's like, oh, please stop hurting me. Oh, I guess one thing that we could do that was on my list was I wanted to, since we're on the blog theme, I was
get rid of the
thinking
categories.
Ooh, that's one thing, but that's not what
Oh.
I like the idea. And then now that's on a thing we'll probably do today. But the thing I was thinking was div program was following back up on the, how we fixed the syncing with make sure I'm typing in the right box there. The syncing of the YouTube when it's published and fixing up the artifact. I'd like to do the same for the blog entries. When those get published, I'd like the artifact to know that it got published.
Yeah. Because there's no sync right now at all, right?
There, it pulls data. It doesn't. So it pulls like view count and stuff like that, but it doesn't do. It doesn't do that until the URL field is populated. Program. So let's get a couple of records so that we can actually have something to work with. Are you going to sign in or are you not signing in? I can't tell. That's not the right password. And go in. Artifacts, blogs.
Right. It's getting too warm. I'm going to relocate.
Okay. I will just keep going. So when we're on, so we've got these blogs. Let's go to a published one. So once a blog has been published, it'll start updating these view counts. So it does pull that data from the blog, but it only does that once this published URL happens. And I'd like to, you know, sync up the artifacts here with the blog automatically, because, well, that's what we do. So let's see, how's the best way to do that? So the easiest thing is if we had the tag for the post here, and potentially I could grab those from the repo and do something that way. I could even automate the creation of the stubs for us from Artifact
So
Manager.
you
Once
create
we,
this, yeah.
So when we create a new blog, you know, maybe when we mark ready to work, it generates the post for us, the post stub, and then obviously would then know its name because
Yeah.
it generated it
So it would generate it
based
and
off the
then-
title.
Then we would just pull that down. I like it.
So that's a potential that I could do there. That sounds easy, but that is not straightforward. Because that creates maybe it's not that bad, but what it's doing is all of this stuff lives in a GitHub repo, and the posts are folders, and the folder name is the thing that we trigger off of. So this CreatorCon 20-KBYG, that is a folder in that repository. And then then that's how that gets built. And that's where those tags come from for the post. So I would need to so I got two choices. I could invoke a Circle CI build, which stands up Hugo and executes the create new post, but that seems like way overkill. Like, sounds like fun level of overkill, but it feels like overkill to like create a folder and an index file in that folder.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's nothing special other than the little
and
little header.
I changed those so much anyway that they're like not even useful.
Yeah.
So
I almost always copy paste over it anyway.
Is what I do every time. I find one that is close to what I want, and then just replace it.
Yep.
And if that was consistent enough, I would just edit the thing to make it that way, but they're not that consistent. So like for the CreatorCon, you know, for a post for me for CreatorCon, I go find a previous post for me for CreatorCon and then start from that. What's the best way to do that? How can I tell ServiceNow to go create a folder over in GitHub? That's a good
Will
question.
the GitHub spoke do any of that?
There is no GitHub spoke.
I thought there was a GitHub spoke.
I think there's a GitLab spoke.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I don't believe that there is a GitHub spoke. It'd be really cool if there was.
Maybe
go
there's
check.
about to be.
Yeah, maybe that. Brad has apparently met me before, because maybe there's about to be is a thing that could actually happen. Yeah, no GitHub spoke. Let's go check the store just to be. I know I checked the store, but I feel like I'm gonna go check it anyway.
I don't think it's gonna do what we want it to do.
There's a GitHub spoke.
I don't think it'll do what we want it to, though.
Does branches, does repository management things, commits a file.
Ooh. Yep.
I mean, committing I would still need to generate the file somewhere to commit it, I guess. So that doesn't seem super helpful. Let us do this very interesting query, which would be GitHub API to create folder. Oh, my friend Stack Overflow, hello. How are you today? Is there a way to create a new folder in Git repository using their API? All right, yes. But then you need to create a file in the directory, because yeah, it only tracks the directories with files in them. Absolutely. So we need both things, is create a file and create a file.
It's a nice official looking link.
It is developer.github.com and, content/create a file. This seems to be what I need.
Yeah.
So create a file, create a folder. How is this a bad plan? We're into the office hours now, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we're way into them. Yeah, I've been.
You've been on that.
I'm talked to the gurus, and if they need us, they're gonna ping us.
You're the best. I thought about that like 30 minutes ago, and then I didn't say anything, which meant it just dropped out of the head. Join the Zoom early. And Dale's there. Yay. That there's no way anyone could have read any of that. So let us see what we got here. We need to do a little authentication. That's not scary to us. It's scary, but OAuth. If I need to, I can just watch one of our own old videos on OAuth.
I mean, that's it's like, which video was Josh on that had OAuth? Okay, I'll figure this out.
There's an awful lot of. Can I get like just the? Where's the actual API? Oh, I'm on like V3. No wonder. I'm like, this is not create a folder.
Oh.
I'm like, where is the beef here?
GitHub.
Did we not get a search results? Create folder API? No. Okay. How about near to this, which would be repos, contents, create a file. repo, contents, get contents, create or update a file. Maybe it treats them the same. Like,
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think just the mere act of referencing a folder hierarchy that doesn't exist will create it. Like, you don't ever see folder details in commits, right? Do
Oh,
you?
yeah.
You just see files that
Yeah. You never
like
see just
you never see the folder. So if I just instantiate and commit a file that references a folder, that should create that folder if it doesn't already exist. I think that
I
I think
like this
that
hypothesis.
let's try that out. All right.
Yeah.
So so then all we need is to create a file. So create or update a file. Yeah, that's what I want, man. Give it to me. Create a new file in a repo. All right. Put blam. Yeah. So let us. Here's an example for creating a file. Look at the nice content there. The file content using base 64 encoding. Ugh. All right, whatever, that's fine. And then it says, cool, I did it. All right. Well, let's get into the instance and do that then. Dev program. I could probably close some windows. Let's close some windows. Here we go. Let's get us some flow designer. Actually, I'm going to step away for a second. You want to just chat to the world for a second? Or you want me to put up the shrubbery?
Let's put up the shrubbery because I got to go check on the fire.
That
and
seems reasonable.
do some stuff.
Privacy shrubbery. Go. Right. Let's see. Bam. So I'm gonna keep the camera off for a bit because I'm sitting in a swing now, and that'll probably be disorienting. But I'll show the swing just so that you can see that, yes, it will be disorienting. Here's my swing. All right, so we were going to take a look at, so I'm in my dev instance here. Let's see how that looks. I've gone outside, so it seems to be okay. Wanted to hear the birdies like Brad does. So we're going to have to create a new action. I was trying to interact with the OBS screen of my screen. That'll not work. Create. We need a new scope first. Let's create a new scope. Let's say new. Let's get started. GitHub. Spoke. I should probably look for the comments. Here we go. So how do I master scripting in ServiceNow? I know that question was quite a while ago. So if you're still around, the answer is practice. You know, practice, practice, practice. So there are quite a number of you know, shares of ServiceNow scripting. So in your instance is a great resource. There's a ton of scripting that's already done that you can see, you know, examples of, working examples of the code. There are some training courses that the Now Learning team puts together, including a advanced scripting course. On the YouTube channel here, we have a learning JavaScript playlist. So in the dev program YouTube playlist, there is a Learn to JavaScript that Chuck Tomasi has created. So a coworker of ours. And so this is something like, I don't know, a lot of videos, but they're all very small. So there's 50 some odd resources there. And all of these are roughly like 5 minutes long. So they're very consumable size. So that's how I get started in at being good at ServiceNow scripting. So we wanted to create a new action. So what we're going to do now is So if you weren't here before, I've got a use case where I want to create a file in a GitHub repository. So let us, do that. So create file. And we're going to do this in a category. So let's create a category for that. File, or how about contents? We'll follow the format from GitHub's API itself. So create a file.
Hey, Andrew, I am back.
You are back, but you are speaking out of the wrong speaker. Let me fix that.
I think maybe you're listening out of the wrong speaker.
I mean,
I'm speaking just fine.
there we go. How's that?
I mean, it's the same for me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Thank you. But now
This
other
is
people can't.
riveting shows.
Riveting shows. So I created a new scope for my spoke, and now I'm creating the action for where I want to do the business. So I want the file name, and it should be human readable, nice format in that label. We'll just take a string for now. Well, what else do they require from me here? The message, the content. We're going to generate that inside of our thing. I'm not going to make this super generic to start with. I'm going to solve our problem and then, maybe never genericize it.
That sounds good.
You can go down a big road of making it generic. So I think right now I need the author and committer have the same keys. Okay.
Did you move outside?
I did. I moved outside.
I can hear both your birds and my birds. Wait, that was inside of my.
We've got the birds going. Yeah, I'm sitting on a swing though, so I turned the video off because it would be really disorienting for other people to have my background perspective changing constantly because I'm swinging. Let's see. So we need the name for sure and email. So do we want to pass that in, or do we want to get that from somewhere? So we're probably going to store that in.
Can we get it?
Credential.
Like, can we get it from the artifact? Right, because we're passing in.
Yeah, but I don't actually care who it commits as.
Okay.
Like, do you? I don't think I care. Like, we can just do all the commits from this system as its own user, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because it might be otherwise confusing to have it switching users and then maintaining OAuth tokens for all of our users. And yeah, let's just do one.
Yeah. In that case, we'll also know if somebody were to, create the post locally and then it wasn't linked, we'd have a better idea of why that was.
Yeah. So let's dive into the REST message and then we'll figure out what it needs later.
Your audio is a bit scratchy.
Yeah, that's because it's wind up against my mic.
Got it.
So If I'm gonna be down here a super long time, I'll adjust to a better mic, but for now it'll probably be a little scratchy. So REST message. So we will definitely be creating a new one of these in a bit. Connection alias. Let us get this though. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab the where's the base? It's yeah, there it is. Nope. I think it's just I think it's github.com v3 is the start of all this.
Is it api.github? I think
Yeah.
you scroll down a little bit.
I think that's correct. We could probably find it on the page, right? Aha.
Yeah, I think there was an example, that URL. Yeah, the Octocat Hello World.
Yeah, api.github/repos is the response URL and the endpoint. I think it's just v3. I should probably just go look at their documentation though. I mean, they have really good documentation. Should be right. Ooh, that is probably very scratchy. That wind.
It is.
I can hear it. I'm not pleased about that. It's so nice out here. Right, that should be better. Yeah. API GitHub. All is, and v3 is default. So it looks like the v3 part in the top there is optional. Base. That'll be in the connection and credentials alias, the base. I need this. Okay, and we're going to do a put. And we're going to binary attachment. Will it accept an actual attachment? What were the formats it would take to create a file? It's like takes a SHA. Responsive content is directory. Aha.
Hey.
One object for each in the directory. All right. All files in the repository. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All right. Well, looks like we This is going to be more than I want to do from my laptop sitting outside. I think I've been streaming now for 3+ hours. I think it's a good time to take a break unless you want to take over streaming for a bit.
Now we can take a break until, what are we starting a show in 50 minutes?
Oh, are we? I don't know what
That's when we're
is.
scheduled to.
Let's go see. You would think I would know these things, but I don't. It's fine.
It's all right. That's why we have calendars.
The calendars are for. And so upcoming is, oh yeah, like 50 minutes. Yeah, we'll do a real stream. So we'll take a break for 50 minutes and then we'll come back. Do you want to just, we could just leave it rolling or do a hard cut? I think a hard cut feels.
Let's do a hard cut, and then we can, when we go live again, everyone will know.
All right. So thank you everybody for being around and hanging out with us. And we will see you back in 50 minutes if you're around. And we're going to check in on our hackathon teams and the gurus and have a little conversation about how things are going and what people are building. And if any of the teams out there want to come and share, what they're working on, reach out to Brad or I or a guru, and we'll pull you onto the stream. And if I'll check to see if anybody's doing any live streaming, and we might drop in on their streams and see what's going on. But we'll see y'all back in about 50 minutes. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, guys.